Alright, RocSports, I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title, this is my reaction to the Shakur Stevenson fight last night. Alright, so, man, first thing first, congrats to Shakur Stevenson, and salute to Jamel, man, because Jamel here showed a lot of heart. But in terms of Shakur, that was a hell of a performance, man. That was a hell of a performance. That was one of those, now me, I always been somebody that's been, like, I knew what Shakur had in him. Like, I just did my research. I knew who Shakur was before he turned pro, before he went to the Olympics. So I knew what he had in him. And I just was waiting on him to get his opportunity, similar to Devin Haney. But in terms of the fight, man, Shakur, it was just a complete mismatch. He dominated Jamel Herring. He said he was going to do everything that he said from start to finish. He dominated him, man. That was a beautiful performance. I couldn't ask for nothing more. I'm not one of those people, yeah, I would have liked to see him get a knockdown or so, but I'm going to give credit to Jamel for that. Jamel wasn't trying to bully Shakur early in the fight. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like he sensed Shakur power early on, and you know, maybe he felt something that he didn't like until it was just, okay, let me go for broke towards the end of the fight. But from round one, man, Shakur was on the front foot. The foot placement, the distance, the range, the levels. He's just on another level, man. He's different. Especially for his age, he's different, man. Boxing is in such good hands, man, with all this young talent. I continue to say that about these sports, but when you look at, I got a video coming out on the young fighters, man, because I just seen the list that came out. And it's like, it was a good list, but it's so much young talent in the sport, man. But especially at 130, 135, 140, man, it's a lot of good young talent. Hopefully all of these dudes can fight. But, yeah, so getting back to the fight, Shakur came out and he was just in control from round one. He controlled everything. He dictated the pace. He did whatever he wanted to do, whether it was him fighting on the inside, at range, at mid-range, moving. He did it all. He showed different levels in his game in this fight. And Jamel, he gave it his all, man, but he was just completely outmatched. The jab for Shakur, oh, man, he kept mixing it up with going up top and down low with it. He's just special, man. He different. He kept the jab going to the solar plex. Even in the second half of the fight, he was still doing that. Before I even get back to the fight, though, was that born? Or was that fight born? Was Shakur born last night? To all of the Shakur Stevenson haters, was he born last night? Oh, wait. Because he wasn't. That was a very entertaining fight from round one to whatever round he stopped him in. What was it, the 9th, the 10th, or whichever round he stopped him in. It was entertaining. Shakur was letting his hands go, and he was throwing them everywhere. He bullied Jamel, and Jamel was somebody that's coming down from 140 to 135 to now at 130, and Shakur's moving up from 126 to 130, and he manhandled Jamel. Whether they was on the inside, Shakur work from the inside was just, he had beautiful work on the inside, man. The positioning, his positioning and his angles, on top of his defense, we already knew what Shakur was defensively in terms of just, it's hard to hit him. But the way he was mixing it up in terms of offensively, offense to defense, coming forward and on the back foot, I don't see him being beat, man. I don't see him being beat, especially at 130. The closest is Chris Colbert, man. We got to see these dudes fight. Oscar Valdez, let's go. Is nothing else that needs to be said now. Like, man, I don't want to say you ducked, but let's just call a spade a spade. You ducked them at 126, and you came up to 130. You got your belt. Shakur's at 130 now. He got his belt. Let's do it. Y'all both with Bob Arum. It should be no reason why we don't get this fight next. So, Shakur won it. He been calling him out for some time, but it seems it's for obvious reasons. Oscar Valdez don't want this fight. I'll go on record right now. I think that Shakur gonna smoke Oscar Valdez, even worse than what he did to Jamel Herring. Styles make fights. The stuff that Oscar Valdez started, he ain't hitting Shakur with none of that, man. None of that. It's a reason why this dude ain't been taken. Oscar Valdez might have seen what Shakur, he might have seen what he seen in Shakur before all of us did, because he ain't been accepted to fight. He just don't want to fight him at all. But Yeah, man, I want to see Shakur mix it up with all these dudes. Jamel Herring, even Burchelt, uh, Chris Colbert, Tevin Farmer. Who else is at 130, man? Like, all of these dudes are not active in the sport, period. But at 130, it's not a lot of big names. But in terms of for your hardcores, these are great fights, especially Shakur and Chris Colbert. Leo Santa Cruz, if he's still, around fighting, all of them dudes. And when he gets to 135, oh man, it's on fire. It's on fire. But yeah, man, that was a dominant performance, man. That's what we wanted to see in Shakur. So the flip side to the haters saying that those was haters talking about his last fight, the flip side to that, though, you can say a lot of people see in Shakur what we saw last night. So it's like the dude that he fought last, he should have got him up out of there. I understand that, but people went overboard with the criticism, though. But yeah, man, Jamel Herring, he gave it his all, but he was just, like he said himself, he just lost to a better man. That was very dope to see them make up after the fight, both sides and the whole parties, both whole teams made up. Even Shakur with his wife, that was dope to see. Now, I will say this, though. Now, leading up to the fight, I didn't like Shakur with the whole putting on the little bad boy role, in a sense, just because I just felt like that was all fake. Not from the standpoint of Shakur is fake, but just like you just put on an act to sell a fight. It's like, I get it, it's the fight game, but everybody knew what him and Jamel was. Yeah, they might not be buddy, we talk all the time, but it's still like y'all, y'all boxing friends for sure. So what we saw after the fight when Shakur saying we family, we gonna be family forever. That's what we already knew before the fight. Y'all was family before the fight. But that was good to see y'all separate the two, but in terms of just being disrespectful and some of the stuff that Shakur did. But that's my only thing. But I'm not even one of those that was big. That's still just boxing for you. But yeah, man, that was a dope night. So now Shakur is finally certified. To y'all, he been that way for me. Like I say, I've been on about Shakur before he even went to the Olympics. And man, this is only up from here for him. He's a pound for pound fighter in terms of skills right now. It's just up to that resume, up to building that resume now. Because in terms of skills, you cannot name 5 fighters that's more skillful than Shakur. You can't. So anyway, in all of boxing. So man, Shakur got a hell of a future, man. Hopefully he can stay focused. And let's see him back in the ring ASAP. I hope he don't have a long layoff. Enjoy this victory. And let's see him back in the ring ASAP. In terms of for Jamel, if Jamel don't retire, I want to see him back in there too. He just lost to a hell of a fighter. And what I would think is a generational talent. So, Jamel, I want to see you back in there, man. He's a true warrior. I'm going to go ahead and end it on that, man. I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. I'd be on here rambling if I just keep talking. So, yeah, man, great performance, all-around performance from Shakur. He put it all together from offense to defense to the levels he showed, the IQ. Again, Shakur may be the best in boxing in terms of distance, man. Him and Devin Haney, man. But whatever. I want to see them back in the ring ASAP. Take a couple months off, get right back up in there, champ. Oscar Valdez, it's on you, bro. Answer the call. The fans waiting on you. We want to see this fight. So yeah, RocSports, I'm checking out. All of my boxing, NFL, and NBA fans, like, share, and subscribe, man. Keep coming back. I'm gonna be dropping more content.